Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to build a project in Sway. You start by logging into your Office 365 account, and from either the landing screen, which is where you might start, or from the waffle, you're going to choose the option that says Sway. It looks like this. Once you get here, if you've ever used it before, you'll have a bunch of old videos sitting there, but we're going to start from scratch today. So you're going to click this button that says Create New. And where it says title your sway, you're going to type your title. In Miss Bauccio's class, you are doing a career project. So I'm going to choose for my career, Broadway star. This is a great first step because Sway is already in the background starting to think about the images that you might like to include. So, for example, the next thing I'm going to do is choose a background. When I'm ready to do that, I just click on background. And it pulls up on the left some suggestions, and it notices that I've said I want to be a Broadway star, and so it picks up a bunch of images that relate to that. I'm going to click on Broadway theater, and it's going to load suggestions of images that I can choose. You'll notice that in addition to images, it's also pulled up videos. Make sure you don't grab a video when you want an image. You can tell a video because it has a little icon in the lower right-hand corner that looks like a piece of film. Images, I'll tell you about their size on the lower left-hand corner. So I can scroll down here and take a look at all of these different images. I'm going to choose this one for now. I'm going to click it and drag it up into that box and drop it. And it's now the background of my first card. These little guys here are called cards. In PowerPoint, you have slides, but in Sway, we have cards. When we're ready to add another card, and right now we are, I'm going to click on cards here up at the top. I can add all kinds of cards, including heading, text, images, videos, tweets, etc. There's no right or wrong way, but I would suggest for your project, since your main focus is communicating information and not pictures, that you stick mostly with your heading and text cards. Those are going to give you the options to include the most information. There's nothing wrong with including any of the other things, but you want to make sure that you don't forget the focus of your project. So next I'm going to grab a text card. And in each text card, it's going to be best for me to add some kind of information that answers a research question. So for instance, I might include average salary, or another text card that tells me where to study, or another text card. And again, you just keep answering questions. At any time, you can add more images wherever you want. You can see where I'm ready to drop this image, a green line appears, so I can add an image here, add an image here. And by clicking on add an image, I go back to my recent searches and see all these videos that come up. It also takes a look at some of the text that I've added and thrown that in there. I'm going to search for the musical for more images. And you'll also notice that right now this box is checked that says search results show images tagged with Creative Commons licenses. That means anybody can use those, but you can get more images if you uncheck this box. Now, that means you're going to be using copyrighted images, and I don't recommend that if you're going to share this video besides with anyone that you have in school with you. However, for our purposes, we can just grab these images and drop them, and we can put a caption on this. This is the musical Grand Park is doing this year. And I can drag more images here, and if I want, I can just drag a video as well. So I have a lot of choices with how I put together this video. Remember, when I'm ready to add more cards, I can always go back to cards. Now you might have noticed that in the background, my presentation is being built. If I want to take a look at it, I can click this preview button and page through the information. And if I don't like the way that it looks, I can always go back to my storyline. Now, we've talked about how to add content. The part that most people really enjoy is making it look beautiful. So again, let's click on preview. If I click remix, it's going to change the whole appearance of my sway. And every time I click remix, it's going to take the same images and text, but it's going to change the font. It's going to change whether I go up and down or side to side. It's going to change the background color. And see, and now I've got this fun swirl going on. Again, there's no right or wrong way. Some people like to just keep clicking remix until they find something perfect. If you want to, you can also make more specific choices by saying, I definitely know I want mine to go up and down. And if you want to get really specific, you can choose in your design any number of choices of presets. You can even click customize to get more. If you say, this is the color palette that I want to have my thing based around, Sway will give you some specific options based on an image. You can change your font. You can change how big your text is. And if you have animations, you can change how intense they are. And at any time, you can click back on preview to see what your page looks like now. So those are the basics of Sway. The best way to get comfortable with Sway is just to keep playing with it. You can undo anything at any time by clicking on the trash can to get rid of a card. So there's no right or wrong way, except if you don't give it a shot. I hope you have fun.